Hello, I'm Nicolette Pomba-Van-Zyl, editor of ESI Africa, coming to you from the African Utility Week studio. Today I have Gordon Molefe with me, who is the Director of Customer Services and Supply at the Botswana Power Corporation. Welcome, Gordon.
Thank you.
Gordon, there's been a lot of conversation around power supply being in a deficit in Africa. The Botswana Power Corporation is doing a lot around trying to alleviate that pressure on the country and neighboring states. What is being done?
Actually, when the issue of or the phenomenon of power deficit arose in this continent, Africa, a lot of countries opted for self-sufficiency. That means ensuring that there is adequate internal capacity. And Botswana, like the peer African countries, is not left alone. We have seen a lot of mega projects or multi-million dollar projects being implemented. An expansion of our plant, Molefe power plant, with an additional 600 megawatt in place, which is 150 by 4 megawatt units. We have seen an additional 190 megawatt as a peaking plant, another 105 megawatt as another peaking plant. Plans are underway to construct an additional 300 megawatt just besides the existing Molefe B. At micro level, of course, we have a 1.3 megawatt station placed just in one of the biggest suburbs of Gaborone, which is Pakalani. That was a trial station to try the renewable energy solutions, which has to this end proved to be an efficient solution. Of course, in the far north, there is 300 by 3 kVA generation plant, which was conceived under rural electrification to connect some 10 villages. So Botswana is doing quite enough to make sure that we are not left behind in addressing the power deficiency. Of course, in the future, we want to be an exporter of power. That is why we've embarked on a regional project like the Zizabona. The Zizabona is a regional project, collaboration between Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia. And there is another project which will be evacuating power from Molefe plant to supply the watershed in South Africa. So we are well on par with our African peers in this perspective.
Right. So in Botswana, you have quite substantial plans in place for generation, as well as transmitting and evacuating that power to different destinations,
Yes.
not only within the country, but also neighboring countries as well,
Yes.
contributing to that Southern African power pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So looking at progress of electrification, rural electrification in the country, what plans are going ahead there?
It all starts with making sure that the transmission plans, the transmission projects are done to evacuate from the sources to the various destinations of the country to reach the rural elite. Right now, we are embarking in a multi-billion dollar project to extend the grid to the northern part of the country. We call it Northwest Transmission Grid, which is connecting quite a number of places, particularly motivated by the upcoming mines in that region. And we have also done transmission project. We are looking into implementing transmission project from Molefe down south. Of course, when we get into now distributing to the last man in the street, which is the rural elite, we have already electrified 377 villages. This brings the penetration to Botswana to close to 78. Botswana over the past years has spent close to 3.5 billion to electrify the rural villages.
How much is that in dollars? Do you know roughly how much that is in dollars?
I haven't played those dollars, but in the Pula terms, we've spent around 3.5 billion Pula. To this end.
And that is then connecting a very unique client base
Yes.
to electricity.
Yes. Yes.
And what plans does the Botswana Power Corporation have in place when these customers come online in order to have them as paying customers?
Of course, the plans we have to ensure that these are paying customers, one of the strategies that we came up is to make sure that the connection cost is reduced. We conceived what is called the National Electricity Standard Cost. We standardized electricity throughout the country.
Okay.
In the
Yeah.
yesteryears, a customer would pay more than, say, 15,000 to make a connection to the households. But today they just pay only 5,000 pula. Everybody in Botswana pays 5,000 pula. How that was conceived is that we said that we establish a fund called the National Electrification Fund, which fund now bridge the difference between the actual connection cost and the 5,000. So through the fund we are saying each and every electricity user pay 5 tebe per kilowatt hour into the fund.
It looks like...
So this has helped in terms of increasing the uptake, making sure that the rural elite are also able to pay for the connection.
I think that you have very good plans in place then with that client base coming online.
Yes.
Lastly, later today you are going to be speaking on a panel discussion.
Yeah.
What is the message that you are going to give to the audience?
Yeah, let me just respond to that question by letting you know that the African continent is sparsely populated. This means to say that it is not always easy for a lot of countries to extend the grid to the rural elite on account of cost.
Yes.
It is therefore necessary for us as the players in the industry to come with more cost-effective solutions. And the message that I'm going to relay in the panel is that let us look at the alternative cost-effective solutions. Let us explore further the use of renewables, because the renewables, they use the available resources around us, like the sun, and a lot of other resources that are around us. And with those, we believe the cost of establishing those mini grids is going to be low. Therefore, the low cost passed to the customer. The statistics do tell us that 640 million people in this continent are without access to modern energy. And these people are in rural areas. So it is appealing and actually enforcing that we should find out these kind of cost-effective solutions and then increase the momentum of rural connection.
Thank you so much, Gordon, for that message.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for watching. I'm Nicolette Pombo-Van Zyl, coming to you from the African Utility Week studio.